Black Oni.
You're now listening to the Black Oni Podcast.
And welcome everyone to the show. I hope genuinely that you all are doing fantastic, wonderful, amazing, and all of the things in between. Yeah, baby. Before we get into the meat of today's content, starting off today's stream off strong, I want to first introduce the guest that we have on for today's show. So, without further ado, I'm going to go left to right, ignoring myself because obviously, the audio lover. First and foremost, where can people go to learn more about you? Who are you? What's going on? Tell the people at home what's up.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm the audio lover to all my living organisms, vibrantly expressing reality. What's up? You could always come and find me at theaudiolover.com. That sends you directly to my YouTube page, as well as the Audio Lover on all other platforms, including Twitch, Instagram, as well as Twitter. So what I do is I do some video game reviews. I also do just weekly updates on GTA Online, as well as I've been playing Destiny and just a whole bunch of other games. I just started Fall Guys as well. So that's what I've been playing recently.
Dope. We'll get into the meat of what we've been playing lately. That way we can talk a little more about Fall Guys, especially. But right next after that, we have Pro_Kesadia.
What's going on, everybody? Pro Kesadia here, back live once again here on Black Oni's podcast, the Black Oni Podcast. You guys can follow me on Pro_Kesadia on Twitter and Facebook. You already know we have a good time. I'm glad to be here once again.
And last but not least, we have a new guest. First time appearing on the show, infamous X1X. Who are you? What do you do? And where can people go to find more of you?
Hello. For those who have absolutely no idea of who or what I am the infamous test subject, Cooler Diamond. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all under the same name. I am FAMOUSX1X. I am a content creator. I am a cosplayer. I am a mom. I'm a model. And a lot of the times you'll find me being randomly rageful on games like COD, Fall Guys, and what have I also played? Oh, Dark Souls. Yeah, that was pulled out this week. So yeah, come stop through and say hi, and I'm glad to be here for my first time.
Beautiful. I'm happy to have you, and I'm happy to have everyone in chat here with us today. This is the very first podcast that we've done on here while the new partners have been announced to the world. So that's very exciting. Before we get into the brunt of the rest of today's show, I want to give quick shout outs to everyone in the chat, as well as letting folks at home know that we are going to be fielding questions from chat at the end of the podcast. So if you have questions now, let us know and we can add those to the queue of questions. We'll put it in our Discord chat here and we will get those questions answered for you. So first and foremost, Fexlar, Ryak, we have obviously, Infamous and Kesa and Audio Lover here, like actually in the call. So Zanros, PyCon Fusion, Alonzo, Lab Naruto, Hikari Kenzaki. Yes. So thank you all so much for being here. I know there are more people who are lurking who probably don't want to be called out right now, and so I won't do that. I can see the list of people here. I'm just gonna let y'all lurk as you will. But with that out of the way, let's get on to our icebreaker. What game got shit on by the public that you absolutely love? And it's funny I asked this question because I don't even have an answer for it. So I'm going to think of it while y'all are answering. Who wants to go first?
I'm still thinking, so give me time.
I feel like Audio Lover, you have an answer before any of us do.
Hold on, give me a second on that.
Yeah.
that is definitely like a thought. You're just like, what?
All right. I'm gonna say.
Maybe?
Well, so I was gonna say Anthem. Anthem would have been my first choice because I honestly love that game. I have a love-hate relationship with that game, but I'm actually gonna go with a PS3 title, Starhawk. I don't know if you guys.
Oh my God! Yes, I remember Starhawk.
Starhawk was one that really got hate on, and I think it was from a specific community because it was the spiritual successor to Warhawk, which I don't remember if it was a launch title, PS3 title, or within that launch window. But like that game had a huge cult following.
Yeah,
for sure. Warhawk had a huge cult following, and then when that same developer came and like years later and said they wanted to make Starhawk, it got so much hate when it was released because it was different than the original, game. And what this game was, to me, I think this was like the precursor to Fortnite in a sense, because this game was a third-person shooter, which you had limited types of guns. You didn't have like your legendaries, commons, or anything. Like there wasn't no hierarchy system. It was just basically you had a shotgun, a rifle. It was 2 teams. They had a story mode, but like the multiplayer mode was like you had 2 teams and you basically built your own base. And so you had a certain amount of, I guess, energy or energy points within your life set to build your base. And each team would be able to build their base accordingly. And how you built your base and defended your point against the other team is basically how you won. So honestly, it was a great game. It was probably one of the only games to kind of do that on the PS3. And they had a pretty good community as far as people who would want to play weekly until the servers went down. But that game got a lot of hate, man.
Yeah.
A lot of hate.
Yeah, I'm showing a trailer of it right now. I honestly totally forgot about this game, but it was I feel like it was underrated. It did get a lot of hate. I don't know if I ever
also got some hate because it had a black protagonist.
Yeah, pandering to the what are the words that they use? Pandering to the SOJ.
Yeah, and this was before
politically correct.
Before that whole, what we got going on now. But I think they just did it to do it. Like, they wanted to do something different.
Oh, SJW, that's what the word. God, geez, I can't even remember the words that they use.
Max, yeah, this was a really, really cool game.
Yeah, I agree. It was underrated. Now I wish they would bring it back.
Honestly, I think, so some of it, I think it would have probably been successful on the 360. I think part of it is, if you guys remember, like the PS3 really didn't have great, a party chat system and all that.
Yeah.
And this is very much one of those games you had to communicate with people.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have a mic, it was not happening.
Yeah. And there was no ping system, so you couldn't just be like, click, click.
Yeah, there was no ping system. This is way before that, but like it was a dope game.
2012, holy shit.
Yes.
Oh my God.
This came out. I remember this came out, and like Max Payne came out.
Oh my God.
Max Payne 3 came out.
Yeah.
So it didn't even have a chance to even try to be good because Max Payne was out. So it was like on top of that, you had this as well.
This and Max Payne 3. Yup.
Wow.
Yep. I remember this like very vividly now.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really good answer. What about okay, who else is ready? I have an answer ready as well, but I figure I want to give y'all a chance to speak your truths.
I got an answer ready.
Okay.
This is actually a little bit more current. And I would actually have to say Tekken 7.
Oh, interesting. Wait.
Really?
Did that game get shit on a lot by people?
Yes.
Okay. Go on.
And I will explain why.
Okay.
Tekken 7 was when it first came out, a lot of the original roster was pulled away. And that made the community angry. It's like, oh, I can't have this person, I can't have that person. You're giving me all these new people. The adding of Noctis and Negan, the net code.
Oh well, yeah, I heard about that.
It was a lot of flack that they got for that. It took, I think, until season 3 for them to slowly start bringing back their legacy characters. And that's when the community was like, okay, you're giving us some, but these aren't the ones we wanted. They're still actually catching flack. They're going into their next season, and they literally had to put in their tweet about it, hey, not only are we giving all of the characters new moves, we're adding these other legacy characters, and we're fixing the netcode. And this has been a ongoing thing for like the past few seasons, where that's what the community like rages about, is like netcode. Yes. I think at one point I like stopped playing on ranked because it was to the point of when you lost or somebody rage quit, you would catch the loss.
Yep. You
would be penalized. So then, your next match, you're getting a demotion because someone rage quit on you. And it's, so I wanted to go someplace else, but I kind of had to go there just because I know that tweet about them updating everything just was like a few days ago. And I'm like, and you read the comments on it and it's just like, yeah, folks still ain't happy. And the game's been out for a while.
Yeah.
I was watching someone play yesterday and people are still like, why is Noctis here? Why is Noctis here? We could have got somebody else. Why is Noctis here?
Damn.
So it's not as hardcore complaints. It's mostly in the fighting game community with the complaints, but the complaints have been consistent for a few seasons now. So
gotcha. Yeah, that is unfortunate, because I know a lot of people who like absolutely adore Tekken, but like even from an outsider's perspective, like one of the things I like that Tekken is doing, and Soul Calibur as well, are their guest characters. Like I love that shit. But maybe I'm in the minority of people who, I don't even play Tekken like that.
No, I can say this. Soul Calibur's guest characters were fine, but also Soul Calibur didn't remove their legacy characters. Matter of fact, they did the good thing because they had pulled out 3 of their legacy characters for the new characters, heard the community, not want those characters, put the originals back. Where Tekken was like, yeah, you want Armor King? No.
Damn.
You want Julia? No. You want Lei Wulong? No.
You want Bruce?
No. Right. No. Like you got Josie instead of Bruce. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that.
Right. All right, Kesa, do you have your answer?
I'm deterred between 2.
Okay.
And it's hard to choose which one.
Do you want me to go? Do you want to give an honorary mention to one, or do you want me to go before you?
I'll go, but I'll give an honorary mention to one.
Okay.
But my main topic is probably going to be Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, okay. Okay. I have yet to boot that up. I'm so bad.
This guy's so behind. My goodness.
So bad.
Oni's backlog has a backlog.
Yo,
that has another backlog, and it has like 3 more backlogs. So this man has hard drives of backlog. No, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably my pick. That game did catch a lot of flack from a lot of the community. I mean, people have been waiting for this game for like, what, 10 years? And then when we finally got it, a lot of people felt like a bad taste in their mouth because the thing about Kingdom Hearts 3, it's an end of an arc. It's an end of an arc, and it closes so many holes from a bunch of games that probably a lot of people didn't play. Like even the mobile game is a part of this story.
Which is just...
And I didn't even play that.
No.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. For people who don't know, there's a mobile game tied to the Kingdom Hearts 3 story. And it's mentioned in 3. So I think it's like I enjoyed the closing of the story. That's why I liked it. The Kingdom Hearts battle system was still the same with a little bit of differences from 2. So if you play 2, you can still do your triangle buttons to do super moves and cool flashy summons and all that stuff. It was great. I had a great time.
Yeah.
But I will say that it did feel a little like it was a bit rushed and whatnot. Because I think it was just I think it was time for it finally. It's finally let's get this done.
Yeah.
Let's finish Xehanort's story now. Let's just end it. So it's
Man.
Kingdom Hearts. It was a good game.
Okay.
But- Yeah. But yeah, am I honorable? You still ain't beat it?
No.
Damn. Did you feel demotivated to beat it, or did you just get distracted?
It was really demotivated because even though it looked the same, it didn't feel the same to me. It became grindier, and it was like, really? Kingdom Hearts? Grindy?
That's wild. I can't even comment on it because I still haven't started it.
Right? Yeah, somebody should probably work on that. But also, my honorable mention, I'm not going to go too much into it, is APB.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hate that game?
I loved it when it first came out, but then the devs got greedy. So, yeah. And that's when I just went. I hated the game afterwards.
I feel that. Okay. My answer is going to be. It was going to be a game that we're going to talk about today, but I'm going to save that for a later discussion. Heavenly Sword. Now that we're bringing it back to PS3 games.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Heavenly Sword was one of my favorite games, just like ever. Like it was a underrated game. It came out like the launch window of the PS3, and you know the Xbox 360 was a more popular system, and so less people were playing it. It was a short game. It had like some wonkiness with the gyro mechanics where you had to like use that to like aim. Like if you threw things and it went in slow mo, you had to aim using the 6-axis controller. But Heavenly Sword was just such a cool idea, and it had Andy Serkis playing the main villain, which was like so cool. So all of the behind the scenes stuff was just like him doing all this extravagant acting scenes and stuff like that, where he's not some creature, but he's a human. That was like just a really cool thing to experience, because I think at that point I'd only seen him as Gollum. And it was I just thought it was a really fun game. I wish we had gotten a sequel to it. The way that it ended like made me kind of sad. And it was just like a really into the world that they created was different. It wasn't in the past, but it was like it wasn't historically accurate in any way, but it was clear that it was like, you know, old war times, but they weren't specific about where it was or when it was or how it was. It was just like they created their own thing. And that's why I loved it so much, because it felt fresh, even though it was all based on like, you know, the past. So I don't know. People shouted a lot because it was again, it was short, but it was also like beautiful. Like it kind of holds up now. I want to show some footage of this real quick so people can see what this looks like for anyone who has never played
another game.
I love that game.
Yeah, right. It's so good.
Like I thought how she was created was like beautiful, especially with me like being team redhead.
Yes.
Even though, you know, I'm not red right now, but I when I seen her, I was just like, yes, I needed this. And
yes.
I literally, the same way you felt at the ending, I'm like, so when's the next one coming out? And
yes.
it never came out, and I was so sad. And she even now, look at it, she still looks beautiful. Like some games don't transition over, but
look at like obviously it's a PS3 game, so it's a little rough in some areas, but like, you know, the facial animation. I
don't know, man. I wouldn't think that was PS3. I would think that would be a low end PS4 game.
The dead giveaway is some of the textures and like the detail in the hair, but like the way the hair moves, and again like the facial features, they've got that shit spot on.
Listen, there's devs that make games that look like this now.
You're right.
Facts.
You're right.
That's why I said low end PS4.
Yeah.
So like, let's be honest.
And like the way you can chain like your long range to short range to like your heavy attacks. Oh, it was so dope. Oh man. Yeah, but now Ninja Theory, that's the developer who made it. They're owned by Microsoft now, so
So we'll probably never get another one.
We'll never get it now.
no,
Well,
yeah.
At least not on the PlayStation platform.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't know if PlayStation owns the IP rights or not, or if they do.
Oh, that could be. That
The
could be
contract
why
don't
we
make me
never
know.
see.
Yeah.
We never seen another one is because Sony owns the contract rights to the game, even though Ninja Theory is exclusively now to Microsoft. Because originally they were not. So
Right.
that could be why. So unless somebody hint hint wink wink the creators of God of War
Sony Santa Monica.
go over. I mean, it's a business, you know what I'm saying? Do
Yeah.
business. And you have the franchise of making games like this. And they honestly should have just bought the rights for making her. She would have looked great by their studio. Looking at
And
what
Metal
they've
Gear.
done
Oh
with
my God.
Kratos.
They've just bought Metal Gear.
Well, you know what? What I'll say about the Metal Gear thing, at that time, I don't think Sony was in the business of buying IPs.
No.
Listen, they sold Crash.
They did. They did. Oh,
They did
baby.
sell Crash. They really did.
so you know, like, let's throw them a bone on that Metal Gear. Like, if they were in it, I think they would have.
Yeah.
At that time, I think they would have.
Oh, look, this is so cool. All right.
Come back on it. Come back.
I think they were in the business of buying IPs and stuff. So I don't know why they didn't get this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe I feel like for this one, they just didn't know if this was going to be a cult classic like it was, because they didn't get the initial sales that they wanted. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to remember what came out around the same time this did, because I think this was another one of those games that it got hit when it dropped with other games and it didn't get the shine that it got. It got kind of a little overshadowed. I can't remember what though.
probably Resistance, and on the Xbox side, Gears of War.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
All right, I need to stop watching this because this is just.
We're gonna make the whole podcast
Only
just
about to
watching
stream
this game.
about it.
Yeah.
Only about to stream it soon. Watch.
If I had my PS3, I'd be like, I might have to take this out again and start playing this. Oh, but let's get on to the rest of the podcast. We have done so many podcasts with the audio lover, but we have yet to interview him to learn.
Nah.
Like, we've learned more about him based on like our conversations together, but we've never done a proper interview style. So what's usually customary is anytime we have a new guest on, we do a interview of them. So we were going to do one for Infamous, but then I was like, wait, we have to do one for Audio Lover because it's been this long since we've done it. We should do it. So we'll save the interview for Infamous for another podcast because we'll definitely have her on again. As long as she's okay with that, of course.
Of course.
But the first question I have for you, Audio Lover,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a different question than the one that's there right now.
Okay.
Your name. Tell me about your name. Why the Audio Lover? What was it before? What was your transition in your journey to your brand identity?
All right. Well, you know a little bit about this, but let's start with my name before. So my name before originally was JM Black. Then I switched it to Black Billy. That was originally like my rap name. So I used to rap way back in another life. And that was like what I was trying to project my career to be at the time. And this was probably from like 2004 until maybe like 2010 that I was really like into the rap thing. And around 2010, I dropped like my first and only official project. And then my wife got pregnant, and then we were gonna have our first child. So I decided to make a conscious decision, seeing where my rap career was going. And while I was still rapping, I started to end up doing that as a hobby. I decided to go back to school. and I wanted to look into something else in entertainment because everyone kept telling me rap is not a respectable career. So
Interesting.
Yeah, right. I was fine with that. I understood like what my content was and what I was trying to project, especially at the end of my rap career versus the beginning of my rap career. I think it was two different types of rappers. In the beginning, I was definitely that type of mainstream act, where in the end of my career, I was starting to become a little bit more conscious of what I talked about in my music, what's going on in my community, stuff like that. And by that time, I was really into getting into gaming because we had a PS3 at the studio. And like, so like if I wasn't in actually the studio or writing a new song, I would just be playing games. So that's what I made my profile to be, was Black Billy. And then ultimately when I kind of, completely settled down on the rapping thing, I decided I wanted to reinvent myself. I didn't want to still be known as Black Billy, because people would probably take that as, oh, I'm still rapping or whatever. And I decided to want to completely change. And it was on my birthday of 2017 that I really decided on the Audio Lover. And I wanted a name that meant something. Yeah. So not only the Audio Lover is kind of like an ode to my rap career, because it, like I still love, audio, I still love music, that kind of stuff. But Lover is acronym, which means living organisms vibrantly expressing reality. So that's kind of like my whole branding, my, everyone who, I feel like everyone is a living organism vibrantly expressing reality. We all live in this reality. We all express it in different ways, and we're all living organisms. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I wanted to move forward with, trying to, speak on what's going on in the world while I play video games. I'm still trying to figure out, how to make that solid, because it's a balance, and I'm learning the Twitch, but like, that I wanted my name to mean something, and that's why I picked that.
That's dope. And so I remember you telling me about that the first time, like the living organisms vibrantly expressing reality. I was like, okay, I see what you did there. Kind of a little thug life going on there. Like, I liked
it. It took a little bit.
Yeah. I'm
not even gonna front. Like when I really came up with that acronym, it was like maybe like 20 minutes, but like I wanted to do something. I remember when I heard Drake for the first time, when he did the do right and kill everything. And I was like, oh, that's kind of dope. Like, I was always good at acronyms, and I was like, I want a name that has an acronym, but like has like a legit meaning. And like you could look at it at face value, and then if you look at it deeper, you'll see like, hey, okay, like I see what he's trying to do.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm terrible with acronyms, so that's why I just giggle to myself, because I'm like, I'm notoriously bad at this. But that's pretty cool. I like it. And obviously you guys can interject with your own questions as well. These are just some of the questions that I came up with for the interview section. But what was the first game that you've ever played, if you remember?
It either is like Mario or Sonic, to be honest with you. I never really had a game system until I was able to buy one, which was on the PlayStation. Okay. But I played at my cousin's house or at a friend's house. The first game that I know that I played that was my game was a PC game, and it was Oregon Trail.
Oh man.
Wow.
That Oregon was Trail. So good.
I remember playing that, and then I don't even remember how I got that. I think someone gave that to me, and then like that was good. And then I remember like wanting to like actually play a shooter, and like the first shooter I was able to play was and I don't know if you guys remember this. I know they had like an article on this a couple of months ago because it's on Steam now. Is the Chex Quest?
Yes.
from the cereal box.
Yeah.
So my parents weren't buying me games, but I made them buy me that cereal just so I could play that game.
That's hilarious. So they made that on Steam now?
I think they brought it back. Yeah, they brought it back like a couple of months ago, like maybe 1 or 2 months ago, and it's on Steam now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which is crazy because like I never thought I would ever see that game because it was like literally a straight rip from Doom. I never got to play like Doom until like way later, but yeah, that I played that, and then
so it was like a family-friendly Doom.
Yeah, it was exactly. And the only other game I played, and I played this one for hours, even though I didn't know what I was doing, was the Mech Warrior.
Okay, that was the one where you had to get like the whole controller. Yeah. Was it that one? Like it was
no. I used my key.
Oh, I'm thinking of Steel Battalion. That's a different game.
Yeah. My parents were not getting me any of that. They're like, school, sir.
Yeah.
School.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So. That's dope. Yeah, I was thinking there's a game called Steel Battalion that you basically it's like it comes with its own controller set with like pedals.
Yes.
And like mechanical levers and switches and like a joystick and like it was wild.
I wish I had that. I wish I.
I never even visually seen that. So I'm sitting here and like, what? Like
yeah.
A whole rig.
Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all what that looks like in a little while after we get through more of these questions. It was a $200 controller, Hazmat just said. Yeah, it was intense. I mean, technically, what is it? This controller right here. This controller, the Astro C40, is pretty much a $200 controller, and it's just this.
I mean, I could go grab my $200 controllers. They're move sticks.
The move stick? Oh yeah, that's right.
The move stick.
They're 99 a piece, and you need both of them to play half of the game. So yeah,
that's true.
It's like
that's true. So I mean, maybe back in the day, because like $200 was definitely, inflation wise was more, but it's not that much different now. Like we still got all this expensive shit.
For real.
Yeah.
Gaming is an expensive habit, if you tell me.
Yeah, yep. And speaking of expensive habit, what do you feel was the defining turning moment for you to really start playing games heavily? Like, obviously, you just mentioned before that you had to start buying your own stuff at a certain point, and that's when you started getting into it. But what was the thing that like clicked?
Man, I don't know, man. Like one of my first like jobs I kind of got on my own was like Walmart, and Walmart gave you that 15% discount.
Oh,
so like I remember when the PS2 was like at that time the PS2 was like $149. So I remember I grabbed that. That was like my first system I was able to buy myself back in like 04 or whatever. And I got that. I don't even remember what I got with that at first. It could have been like Devil May Cry or something, or The Punisher.
Okay.
One of those games. But like I remember playing that. I remember playing the first Godfather game, loving that. And those games really like kind of hit for me. And then what really like made me go in heavily was like really at this PS4 when I bought it on launch. That was like that defining moment. Like I actually remember watching that press conference in 2013, them announcing it. And I'm like, no, I have to get this on launch. I want to start streaming. I want to start being a content creator. At that point in time. But it was very different for me, I think, in 2013, because I was like, moving away from rapping. And while like I didn't have stage fright on stage, it's a difference when you're on screen, on stream. Because I think with rap, it's like, as long as you have the bars and you sound good, like people will pay attention and people will like you. With this, it's more of why the hell does anyone give a about my opinion on game? Right. Or why I'm even playing game. So like I had this like I was never scared to rap in front of a crowd. Like that was like nothing to me, but I was like very scared to like stream and play games. Like I would buy games or whatever, and like I would like try to stream, because I remember even buying like the PlayStation camera like within launch window.
Yeah.
Like I didn't buy it launch day, but like within launch window I had it. So I've had this camera for like what, 6 years or whatever?
Yeah.
6-7 years. And like I just started streaming this year because I was like, you know what? No, like it's quarantine, like let's go. Like you bought this system for that. Like that's the reason why you bought the system.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, that's so it's so interesting you say that. Two of my friends, I'll give a shout out to one of them because he actually did a live stream for Lebanon. There was the explosion that happened, and he did a charity stream to basically help with that situation. It was for the Red Cross. I can't even talk right now. And he talked about how much anxiety streaming gave him. Like he can talk for hours to you if you're in person, just talk to you for hours about it. And another one of our friends was in the chat, and he's a cosplayer, and he was a theater major. So like he is used to performing in front of groups of people, but he streamed once and he was like, he couldn't do it anymore because like it was just anxiety inducing. Like it was different in that way. And I'm not really sure if it's because there's an aspect to it that's less about performance of like pretending to be someone else, but just being you and kind of being vulnerable in the being you aspect of that, and kind of the public seeing you as you. Like it's a very vulnerable thing. But it's also interesting because I know there are a lot of streamers who are character streamers, and now that I'm thinking about it more, maybe that's why they're character streamers, because they can kind of be a performer rather than just being themselves, and it's a less vulnerable place to be.
I didn't know that was a thing. I'd probably start that up.
Yeah. Honestly, you might want to start a persona up as like a character streamer and doing that. I mean, it's not for me because I like being myself. I like kind of being a performer, but also just like being so much of myself that like people see that part of it. But it's not the same for everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, when I was rapping, like I wasn't trying to pretend to be someone. It was more, I guess, the vulnerability of like, it's not like I'm rapping in my house, right? Like I go to a venue, I get up on stage, people see me, people see me at that point in time when I'm on stage, versus like you're streaming at home. Yeah. They see, they could kind of, they're in your living space, and even though like they're not physically there with you, the camera's there. Yeah. So it's like they're in your living space.
That's true.
So I don't know if like that was it, with the mixture of, like I said, like why would people even care that, on my opinion on a certain game? Yeah. Versus like, when I was rapping, like I would rap about certain things, and like you knew I was living that type of lifestyle, so you understood where I was coming from. Mm-hmm. You get me? Mm-hmm. So it's a different type of transition. But I'm getting the hang of it though.
Okay. Is that something that either you, Kesa, or Infamous have can relate to in any way?
What you mean, the anxiety thing?
Like the difference between performing and streaming, and like if there is a difference for you and what that feels like.
For me, I've been entertaining like my entire life. In middle school, high school, there's a picture floating around of me in a tutu and some tap dancing shoes. I've always had that anxiety, which me personally, I have like things that I do before any performance. One in particular I remember is I was in high school and I was a part of like a black choir. And I was nervous because I had the solo, and I had to sing that solo. I had to pump myself up and get myself motivated, even though I knew the words. Your nerves can make your voice crack. Mm-hmm. So I don't think the nervous goes anywhere. It's just kind of how you channel it. And I think that's why everybody, like, when I start my stream and they see how I start my stream, that's what I do now. Like, I need to channel this nerves and make it energy, but it is definitely a thing. But I'm like you, I theater, I need to be me.
Yeah.
I don't this persona is who I am at 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. the next day. Like, this is who I am. But that anxiety is a thing. I had anxiety before, but I came here and I talk to you guys all the time. I'm always in chat, but it's like Audio said, it's you're someplace that's not your space. You know, us being in our channels, that's our space. Us being in our living rooms, that's our space. But letting others into our space is a difficult thing. Letting others see, like, hey, that's my couch right there.
Yeah.
Say hi to my couch. You know, my cat runs past. Like,
Yeah.
say hi to my cat. That's a different thing that could be taken a different way. So
yeah. Sometimes you hear my kids in the background, so it's like it gets.
I currently have a kid sign languaging me right now, and I'm talking, and I'm trying not to sit there and be like and make a face about it, but I have a kid in the corner, like, and I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different.
What about you, Kesa? What is it like for you?
For me, I mean, like y'all said, the anxiety. It took a while when I first started streaming for it to go away, because I was a very to myself kid, shy guy. And then, you know, I started to open up due to like my friends who I met in college, and then, you know, just doing it over and over, and just letting people into your, like you said, like Audio Lover said, letting people into your space. It was difficult, and I think still to this day, I still have a little bit of anxiety when I'm bringing who I am to new people who haven't met me before. Like when my when I recently was on another podcast with Technique for Streamer Square, I was nervous that entire time. I'm just like, I have Tech there, but then I have somebody else who I've never met before, and then I'm in a stream with people I've never met. So I'm just like, don't make a fool of myself. But yeah, it does take time for it to go away, and then it's always like that small lingering feeling. But it does make you stronger in a way, and like in those kind of situations. So
yeah,
I'm still learning.
Yeah,
good to hear I'm not the only one.
Yeah, it's good for people to hear that too. It's good for people to, because even for people, you know, like you said before, you've entertained people, you've been on the commercials before, but it's still a different thing that you deal with when it comes to, you know, streaming or being a guest on someone else's podcast.
Right.
What was your favorite game of all time, Audio Lover? Favorite game, and why?
Honestly, God of War. God of War for the PS2.
Good game.
Great game.
One of the first games, like, I know it wasn't the first game I purchased on my own, but it was like, at least it was the first game that that was recommended to me by my GameStop associate. I know that for a fact. And I went in there, and he was, you know, I was like, yo, I got this PS2. I don't really have that many games for it. I need something to play, something that's good. And this is at the time, and like I said, I kind of was brand new to gaming by that time. So like, I wasn't following what was coming out and stuff like that. So I don't know if God of War, the first one, really had a big marketing campaign, but I don't remember seeing any marketing around that GameStop store.
Okay.
They did have, you know, a shelf with several copies, but like, it wasn't like heavy marketing like when they do nowadays, when you see like the new Call of Duty and stuff like that. It wasn't like that back then, at least not for God of War. And he was like, listen, you know, this game is good. I recommend it. Check it out. So I grabbed it. I remember playing the first level where you play that Hydra. And I was like, because I remember looking at it and I was like, God of War. And I'm big on Greek mythology. I'm like, this doesn't look like Ares, right? So I'm like, what the hell is this? I remember playing it, and like, first of all, the first 5 minutes you're committing suicide. Like,
basically, yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute, sir, I'm not gonna play this whole game for you to jump off the damn cliff. Like, that's not happening right now. We're not gonna do this. So I remember playing it and I beat the Hydra and I was like, okay, like this is dope. And you know, Athena tells you, yo, you know, Ares is tearing up Athens and you gotta go kill him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but wait a minute, didn't I used to work for this guy? And she's like, never mind that. You gotta go kill this guy. He's like, but he's a god. I'm like, I'm a man. Like, I mean, I'm a Spartan, but like, I'm a man. He's like, never mind that. Like, just go kill this guy. But like, it was honestly a great game. It was fun. I think that first mini game is what really caught me as well. Like you come out, I was like, oh, like this is mature. You know? And if anyone knows what the first, like knows what I'm talking about.
Is it the mini game that I think you're talking about?
Oh, 100%. Hey, listen.
Circle to the left. Circle to the right.
Listen, Spartans got to get it in every once in a while too. You know what I'm saying?
The base. That's all I gotta say.
Like we haven't done this since like GTA 3, and we had a park to the side. Like wait a minute. Like I didn't know we were still doing this. Like this is dope. Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, like that game was honestly to me till this day, like it's a classic. Nothing. Granted, like even the new God of War, like as me being a parent now, I think I like it much more with the new God of War. But that original God of War, man, like it was something different. Like it was something different. It was something fresh, and it had Greek mythology in it in a way. Like I was like, oh, like to the point where Kratos is actually like spoken on in lore now when you talk about Greek mythology. Like
for real though?
Crazy. Like, yo, you could mention Kratos anywhere.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't even care if you're a gamer or not. Like, I think if you're talking about Greek mythology, like, yo, Kratos is the God of War now. Like,
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
They just never updated the stories.
It's on Wikipedia. Don't worry about all them books in the library. They can't update those. Just look on Wikipedia. It's great.
He's the God of War.
Facts. Yeah, God of War is such a great game. So so you mentioned earlier that gaming and music have kind of always been a thing for you because of, you know, they had the PS3 in the studio. Or was it a PS2? PS3?
It was a PS3, yeah. It was a PS3.
And there was always, I've actually, like, that's pretty common as well. Like, even when I've been growing up in Boston, you know, a lot of people who, even like the thugs and gangsters and blah, 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 like a lot of them were nerdy in some way, whereas like they like to play, you know, they like to play video games. They get on 2K or Madden, or, you know, they'll get on Tekken.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yo, go into, and I'm not telling you how to go into any trap house.
Yeah.
Any trap house you go to.
Yeah.
All right. There's a PS3 on there.
Yeah.
And they are definitely putting like money on the table for MK, guaranteed right now, MK11. Tekken 7. I tell you, you know, or COD. I'm telling you. You know, I'm telling you.
100%. 100%.
I'm telling you.
Or at the barbershop.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They're doing it. Yo, or 2K. Like, yo, let's run it.
2K.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
100%.
Money matches.
And it's real.
It is what it is.
And it's so
real.
funny because, like, again, growing up, like, you know, being nerdy, we're lucky that like we grew up in a time where like being nerdy was just like a cultural thing that just happened to people. Like, at least in that particular way. Maybe not into anime or into like Dragon Ball as many of us were, but like video games, like.
Oh no, they like that too. They
do. They love Dragon Ball.
Don't let them. Don't let them fool you. I can say that now because like I'm way out of that space.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, I grew up. So again, like there's a lot of parallels between like what we've experienced there, but yeah, like how has gaming influenced your career in music and vice versa? Like, you talked about it a little bit, but what more can you give us on that?
So with gaming, like I think I really gravitated to more into gaming because my parents were just not purchasing it for me, right? They really wanted me to like focus on school. I remember like I asked my dad to get a PlayStation. He's like, play what? He's like, you play those books, sir? Okay. I guess you're not getting me a PlayStation. You know, and I mean, I honestly like, and people would be like, yeah, like your parents are tripping, but like, no, like I definitely respect that they never got me any of that stuff because, you know, they were trying to save their money to afford, you know, something for me and my sisters and get a house and stuff like that. But I really gravitated to gaming because like, you know, you're always, you know, watching TV and I wanted something that was more interactive. And that's what gaming did. Like you could watch something, you know, like I still have a whole bunch of shows like I gotta watch now, whatever, but playing games and being interactive, I think is just like when I used to perform, like I could interact with my crowd, you know, that felt good for me. And when gaming went online, like you did multiplayer and stuff like that, like I was able to communicate and meet people online who also rapped and like get records going based on just us playing online, playing, you know, Call of Duty or The Last of Us or Uncharted or whatever. You know, we met online like, yo, you rap? Like, yeah. And you know, I'll send you a beat, you send me a verse back and make things happen that way. So that really helped me out a lot as far as my music career when I was doing that.
That's dope. That's dope. And what would you say? This is my last question, and if you guys have more questions, please let me know. Let him know, I should say. How has having kids changed the way you think about gaming?
Ooh.
If it has at all.
It has. What is it? What's the rating system? I don't
E is for everyone.
Like these hands.
There you go.
So that rating committee, like I remember when they first came out, because they came out for Mortal Kombat or whatever, like Mortal Kombat was too bloody and all that stuff. And I remember playing Mortal Kombat back then. And I was like, this ain't bloody. Like we would go to the barbershop and, you know, get on the sticks, play Mortal Kombat, whatever. But now, like my wife comes around and like, you know, my daughter's playing Mortal Kombat. I used to play that when I was young, but I'm like, nah, you got to turn off.
It's different now.
It's like you can't do no. You could really see the whole like spinal cord. Like it's like
literally.
Like, come on.
You can see intestines.
Yeah. So like there's thing I won't let them play at this point in time because they're still young. You know, they're my oldest is 10. Or she's turning 10. She turns 10 in October. But like she's not playing, you know, GTA and stuff like that. Like you could go and play Fortnite. It's fine. I bought some Lego games. I am allowing her to play teen games. If I played them first. Yeah. Because she's creeping up to that age anyway. Yeah. So like I gotta like make sure, you know, the dialogue is like proper, at least if, you know, there's a hint of whatever, like she doesn't understand it as much. But like my 5-year-olds, like I won't even boot up GTA if they're around, really, because like that, you know, the language on that is just ridiculous. Yeah, of course. It's ridiculous. But aside from like killing the hookers and blah blah blah, yeah. I mean, I don't like, it's crazy because I looked at my stats and you could look at, you know, if you paid for services or whatever, like, and I was like, I never paid for services. Really? Like, really? Yeah, like I've never paid for services online on time GTA to online. Change that. It's crazy. But yeah, like there's certain games I won't let them play at this point in time. I did let them watch me play God of War for a little bit. I didn't think that was too much. The new one? Yeah, the new one. Yeah. Yeah, no, not God of War 2, really. Yeah. not
I was about to say the body splitting in half. I remember that. That was a lot.
I don't remember if there wasn't really that much of that going on in the new God of War, right?
But like,
No, it had toned that part down. Yeah.
Not the old stuff. Not the old stuff. The new one is not that bad. I mean, there are some certain circumstances. I remember like I wouldn't let them watch it at first, but like after I got into it a while, I'm like, oh, I think this is a very more mature Kratos, and it's really just about raging. I'm like, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. God, what a fantastic game.
It was.
So good. I
Very
do
different.
God, we'll go off on a tangent. I'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, that's really what it's been as far as, understanding. Oh, another thing, this is a big one, is they like this game called Roblox.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I know that game very well.
Oh boy.
That taught me how to make sure what's going on in chat, because like a game like that, I don't know if I feel comfortable playing that per se. It just seems it seems too much of a kid's game, and I know like people are like, well, that's not a thing, but like no, like that feels like me as a man adult. If I'm playing that and like I hear a kid in chat, like I'm running the other.
Yeah.
Because I don't need those kinds of problems. That's why I play the kind of games I play, because like you expect a certain type of demographic to play those kinds of games. Or if I'm gonna play like a Roblox, like I'm not putting the chat on, I'm not putting no voice, like I'm not doing any of it, right? Or I'm really just playing with my friends, because you expect like a lot of kids to play that game, and that's what they do. They play that game, but like I have to make sure what's going on chat, because people could be really disgusting.
Yeah.
And people prey on that kind of stuff. So you got to kind of, watch, who your children are talking to and that kind of thing. So that's really what changed my mentality as far as gaming and far as gaming with a chatting system. So like even now, like my daughter has Destiny 2, or she plays Destiny 2 a little bit. And this is something I complained about for years, which is they automatically have the mic off. Yeah. Right. So you have to like go out of your way to try to communicate with someone in the game.
Which is better to do that, in my opinion.
Yes and no, because like on the console side, I feel like people communicating is still behind versus on the PC side.
Yeah.
Right. Like people really don't know that you actually have to communicate in a lot of games on the console side of it. Unless you like play with certain people.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing with randos, like people like 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna say 9 times out of 10, but a lot of people don't like to talk unless they're like hardcore gamers. They don't like to talk, or they're not gonna sit there and try to communicate with you on chat. Like you literally have to go out of your way.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, man, like this is dumb. Like I don't mind just muting someone. But after my daughter played it, I'm like, no, this is perfect. Like I get it now. Like, like she doesn't have to hear, a whole bunch of BS, especially with her being a girl trying to play a video game. And we all know how people act when women are playing games,
especially young women too. Like,
yeah, you know what I mean? And she's getting like really good at these games. So I definitely see like one is bad, like when you're a girl or a woman, in my daughter's case, I say girl, but like when you're a woman playing, a game, especially a multiplayer game, but like when you start killing people,
they start getting salty. Infamous is like,
I know my Call of Duty days. See, this is what I do love when I run into men that have daughters. Is because now you're walking into a realm that I've had to deal with for my entire life, and it opens up your eyes to so much, especially on the gaming. It's just like you knew it was bad, but now you see it and it's so much worse.
Yeah,
I see it on a daily now because I have daughters. I understood it because I was raised by all my cousins, women. Like I have male cousins, but like the ones that like kind of raised me. My mom raised me. My dad was always working. My sisters, they're twins as well. So like I've always been around women. So I've always noticed it. But like now it's like a constant because like they love to play Roblox. So like it's constant. Like you see it now, and you have to pay a lot more attention now.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest? A lot of questions in chat. The biggest thing that's wrong with Roblox when it comes to behavior, like other players' behavior.
Man, they won't necessarily use profanity. But sometimes you can see it. Sometimes it's blocked off. But they'll definitely say inappropriate things. And I've noticed this with Roblox as well as because they also do the kids YouTube, and they watch Roblox on kids YouTube. And there's definitely like inappropriate channels or things that, they talk about, being naked and stuff like that. And it's like, wait a minute, like you guys are kids, like relax, keep your clothes on, don't, relax.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some things on Roblox. Sometimes it's also the music, because they like I let my kids listen to hip hop, but like the clean version.
Yeah.
I'm not letting my kids listen to 6ix9ine though, and they play a lot of that.
6ix9ine Mafia?
No, 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm not I don't care if it's the clean version. Like there's a code of conduct. So like we're just not listening to 6ix9ine.
Yeah. Gotcha.
No rats in the house.
There we go. None of that.
If y'all have any more questions for him, by the way, feel free to.
Question.
Yeah.
I have a question. And since we're like on the topic of the gaming and the parenting, and you have multiple kids, it's
three daughters.
Three daughters, 3 little girls. Yes. How would you feel if your daughters wanted to follow your footsteps, whether it was through music or through gaming?
I would support them. I don't find that to be. I would be happy. I would tell them to make sure that's what they want to do, because it's hard. But I would support them. Right now, I know my oldest kinds of to do the streaming and stuff like that, or at least YouTube. And I want to support her on that, but I want her to at least get her grades up, because she is still in school. So that's really like my only concern, at least until high school. Like get the high school diploma. If you don't know what you want to do for college yet, it's fine. If you want to do, both, like I'm still one of those parents that I'll let you do, both. But once I start seeing your grades slip, like we're taking that extracurricular away. So I'm still one of those kinds of parents. Like I'm not gonna be like, you're making all this money now on that. No, like forget school, like because you still need an education, at a base level education. And it may not have like, and I'm not gonna say like it has to be like this traditional grade school, public school, whatever. But like you have to learn, there's certain fundamentals you do need to learn. And I think as long as we get there, we're fine. As long as we get there, we're fine.
I feel that.
So, but like, yeah, no, I wouldn't be anywhere. Like if they wanted to be a rapper, wow. She tells me she wants to sing and I'm like, yo, I get her songbooks, like, yo, write some lyrics down. Like, let's get going. She wants to play games.
Flowing.
Yo, I just checked out a Roblox book for her to make her own Roblox level, or whatever the case may be. Like
Speaking of that, as a parent to another parent, they have like a whole program for them. I will send you that whole thing for that. So.
Yeah, and and as far as like, little girls and women, like I know there's a lot more opportunities. I remember Sony was doing a scholarship at one point for just women who wanted to go into game development. So like there's a lot of that. Like I would definitely support them. That's what they wanted to do. I've had even coworkers and colleagues who've had their daughters wanting to go to gaming now, and I live in Florida, so she's going to one in Orlando, and there's like 2 in Orlando that do gaming very well. But I remember because I wanted to go into game development at one point, and I was like, there's one school, it's private, it's called Full Sail. I was like, yo, check Full Sail out. It's expensive, but you could always go back and learn those courses, and that's the reason why. And then it has its own alumni system, this, that, and a third. Or you could do the public route, public school route, where you could go to UCF, and they have a program, and I think they actually pair with EA because they do Madden down there in that area. So they have their own motion capture studio and all that. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. Whatever they decide.
That's excellent. So on the topic of whatever they decide, whatever you all decide, and the things that we've been playing before, I want to know a little bit more about what y'all been playing, what you've been up to, whether it's streaming or playing offline or playing with family. What you been up to? Let's start with you, Infamous.
What have I been up to?
Yeah.
There's been a lot going on in my little bitty world. I guess this is one of those moments where I get to say something that I'm not used to saying. Just on the 14th, I am now a Spring 2020 1000 Dreams Fund Broadcast Her recipient. So that's huge for me. But as far as me, it's been a lot going on, appearances and talking and modding and streaming, but I still find time to, even after all of that, like I said, try to hang out with some of as y'all kind of secretly seen, they were leaving. Oh, is my nieces were leaving, so I hung out with them yesterday. Been gaming with some of my friends offline, just sitting, lurking in everybody's streams, just watching them do what they do when I'm not doing what I do. But I think like gaming wise, I've been heavy. I've stepped away from COD, and I've been heavy on Apex.
Okay.
And this little gem right here has become one of the most addicting things ever in life. I think I just said earlier today, I need to go play Fall Guys. But yeah, so just trying to find games that giving me a little peace of mind, I guess you could say, when I'm not streaming, because I got a lot of focus on the games that I play, so I need the games that I don't have to think when, or also catching up with everybody. It's a lot of folks that are like, hey, can we play games? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So just catching up with everybody, hanging out with everybody. But the only thing I got coming up is my normal one too, back in the Asylum District. They asked for, one of the sub goals, which Dark Souls, and I did that. And because I wasn't feeling well, I didn't do the subathon. So I'm gonna torment my body and play games, but I'm excited because it's something I've never done. But it just seems like I went from, hey, I'm not doing anything, so now I look up and it's Tuesday and I don't know, I'm getting schedules and meetings and calls, and it's definitely a different experience. So I'm excited, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from there. Totally. What about you, Kesa?
Man, so I've been playing a lot of games and whatnot. I recently started Grounded the other day, so whew, that game is stressful.
Oh yeah.
So Oni and I were playing that yesterday until like 4 o'clock in the morning my time, and it was something. That game is like taking that movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and then actually making it a good survival game. We'll say that the quest line is a little short because it is early access game, and I'm kind of invested. It's actually a survival game that I'm actually very I enjoy from start to finish. So I'm invested to see what they're going to be adding more to it. And I've been playing Fall Guys, Ghost of Tsushima. I've been playing a little bit of Black Desert. I've been playing like a lot of MMOs that I haven't been giving a second shot, like Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm giving that a shot again to see how that goes. And yeah, just been doing the streaming thing. Same thing, you know?
Hell yeah. And I'm showing some clips off right now of
oh Lord,
of him playing the various games.
I want to say don't show the Grounded.
Oh man.
No, please show the Grounded.
Please don't show Grounded.
I was lurking, watching you guys. and I was sitting there. I peeked in, and I think Kesa was like standing on a ladybug or something.
Yeah.
And then I peeked back in, and they're like, I hear them yelling about spiders, and I'm like, and I hear you, Oni. I'm like, Oni's not happy. Kesa's not happy. What is going on?
Like, they said the ladybugs were harmless. Next thing you know, a ladybug breaks my knees.
Ooh.
Then Oni gets jumped by a spider first. I said, you got that from like way over there. And then I get jumped by a spider. It's fun. It's just so much fun. Oni, go to bed before we get jumped. Oni's character was glitching, and it was just so funny.
It was hilarious, dude.
Yeah, I would love to get like a full party of friends to play that game, because even with just 2, it's a good time. So if we can get 4, it'd be just even greater. But oh god, not the spider one.
Oh man. Oh man.
God.
Yeah. Look at Case's face.
Fun fact, for people who didn't see, I closed my eyes. I saw it. I saw the eyes, and I was just like, ah! Eyes shut. But I kept running.
We're literally just sitting there trying to build our little fort, our little zone. Literally turn around for a second, and then.
And like the good thing about that game too is that if you have arachnophobia, there is a thing called arachnophobia mode, where it actually takes assets away from the spiders and sounds to make it actually less stressful for people who have fear of spiders. Mm-hmm. So you can bring it down to its basic level, but just being like little 2 orbs. So it's if you're afraid of spiders, you'll be able to give it a shot. But in this game here, I can't wait for Marvel Avengers.
We're gonna talk about this today. Ooh,
I was saying, if you're playing with me, I call Iron Man every time. So, until Spider-Man comes out. Still.
it's gonna be a good time. But yeah, more Fall Guys. But yeah, man, it's great. And audio lover, we gotta know. We talked about it a little bit already about what you've been playing, but we gotta know more. We gotta know the details. You gotta know everything that's been going on.
I've been playing Fall Guys. I've been so I'm trying to play more on stream. I've been playing Fall Guys. I've been trying to figure out what to play on stream. So last week I was playing Erica, which was the PlayStation bonus game. Mm-hmm. And that was actually pretty good. I did my first playthrough. It's probably it's been my second FMV type of a game that I've played. And it was actually pretty fun. Like I picked some bad choices. Honestly. In the end, I'm still salty about like my last decision because I feel like I knew I wasn't supposed to pick that decision. Like I knew I should have but I wanted to be all in and stuff. And that's not me. That's not me.
Yeah.
I've also been playing a lot of GTA Online. Like, believe it or not. That's been really, really crazy because I haven't booted up that game since PS3.
Oh man.
And I stopped playing that because it glitched out my story mode. So I haven't played it since it was bad to play on PS3.
Oh man. I remember those days.
Because of quarantine, me and my friends, all my friends were like, no, let's just get on GTA Online. We're not doing whatever. I have one friend who's never even played online before in life.
Yeah.
Right. That's not what he does. and he ended up getting PlayStation Plus, and we all had GTA, and we're like, all right, like let's do it. And that's actually been pretty fun. Like they brought in a lot of content for the past, I guess, what is it, 5, 6, 7 years? I was like, holy crap, there's a lot of content in this game.
Yeah.
So GTA has really been my go-to as of recent, but Fall Guys is just taking it right now. Like I'm really playing Fall Guys in GTA.
Yeah.
I'm trying to finish. The next thing I'm trying to finish is Horizon Zero Dawn. I got to finish that because the library definitely asks for it back at some point in time once quarantine is over. Yeah, so Horizon Zero Dawn is definitely that game that I need to finish, and I have a whole bunch of stuff in backlog, but like it's really been all these damn online games for me right now.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know how far into Horizon you are, but it is.
I just finished. Well, no, I'm at the first part where you can't go back.
Oh.
Yeah. So like I'm at, I guess, the Coliseum now. Like they caught me and I'm in the Coliseum and I got to fight the behemoth, I believe it is.
Oh wow, the behemoth.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. So I feel like I'm more than halfway done with the game.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. I think
I do too.
I think I'm more than halfway done with the main storyline. So yeah.
I still have to do the DLC for that game, dude.
I still need to beat it.
Oh,
you haven't beat it? Okay, I don't feel that bad.
No, you don't feel that bad. Actually, with you bringing that up, it just reminded me. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to play that this month. So you just reminded me.
No.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it once we beat it.
Yes.
There you go.
My backlog looks stupid crazy. Like I don't know what the hell is going on with my backlog. That thing is just
hard drives upon backlogs, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I told myself, and I know Oni knows this, but I told myself like I wasn't gonna buy a new game until I finished a couple of these games, and at least they announced this damn PS5 price. But like, yo,
we're not half that.
Like, I want to play Ghost of Tsushima. I want to play The Last of Us 2. I still haven't played Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh,
like, because I'm not able to buy a new game yet, and it's like, yo. And once I'm actually done with, and this is bad, but like once I'm actually done with Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm supposed to actually play Killzone.
Oh wow. That was a launch game.
Yes, I just realized I never beat a first party launch title for the PS4. So I was like, yo, I can't go into the PS5 without being a first party launch title. Like, what kind of PlayStation fan am I?
That's wild.
What kind of fan am I?
What kind of fan?
I'm gonna be playing 2 Guerrilla games back to back.
That is, yeah, dude. It's such a huge difference that the two of those games have. Like Horizon Zero Dawn, Killzone, they're so different.
Yeah,
but they're great in their own ways. I just love that aspect of them. In terms of myself, I've played Conqueror's Blade. It's been a really fun game getting into.
Yeah, I saw you playing that. That's dope.
Yeah, it was a really, really fun game. I'm definitely gonna be playing more of it as well because I ended up, people came into the stream to watch it and they ended up downloading the game and liking it and playing it a bunch of times, like off while I wasn't even playing as well. So that's been dope. And then what else have I been playing? I've been playing that. I played some BDO for the first time this past Monday with Kesa and Hikari and Grace, and Ivan was not feeling it, but we played it with him as well. And that was funny. That was fun. It was great. What else? I've been playing COD. I can't necessarily put that game down. I enjoy it so much. And here's a clip from COD as well. So yeah, that's been a really, really fun game. It's really great to just hop on with friends as well. Like that's been a really rewarding part of playing it. Warframe, of course. I have another sponsored stream for Warframe coming up August 25th for Heart of Deimos. That's part 2 of my sponsored stream, I should say. I'm extremely excited for that. Y'all know how much I love Warframe, and the fact that I have an opportunity to do this is very exciting. And I hope I get an opportunity to do more stuff like that with them because, yeah, it's dope. I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, which has been phenomenal. I recommend that game to everyone who is even close to being a weeb as much as I am. Like, there are just moments of like somberness, of just like peace, and like looking at the landscape and playing the flute that are just like, it just that feel of being in feudal Japan in such a elegant way. And then there's like the moments of the combat where it's like intense, and I'm playing on hard right now, so like all it takes is a few. I've upgraded a bit, so it's a little more forgiving now, but whew, all it took was like 2 or 3 hits to die, and it was just like, oh my god, this is like playing Dark Souls right now. But it's like more fluid than Dark Souls, and
I'm hearing Game of the Year for that.
It's looking. It's
Hard to say
definitely.
yeah.
I mean, out of the 3 of us who are we're all currently playing it, I believe. I don't think any of us have beat it yet. But definitely, audio, if you don't want to do that backlog and you really we just saying no, you should get this game. If you are in the chat, you should get this game. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, we played Smash Bros as well. I tested out my new camera when we played Smash Bros, which was really dope, and it's COD as well. So you'll see a little bit here, the new camera. I'm not using the new camera right now for the podcast just because I didn't have time to set it up for the podcast in that way. But when I do the stream later, we're gonna play some Rainbow Six Siege, and I think we're going to play some more Avengers as well with Hollywood, but we have to make sure we are going to do that, because I stayed up a little while longer after you rated him, and like he just kept playing. He said he was going to stop after a while, but he just kept going. But yeah, that's kind of like what the plan is for today. But yeah, I'm really excited as to the future, basically, of everything that's going to be happening on this channel and also my friends' channels here. It's going to be really fun. But beyond that, now we can talk about some of the stuff that's going on in gaming right now, which is let me go to the agenda here. So, all right, I know a lot of people will have their thoughts about this, but before Hikari mentioned something about the Avengers game and how its performance on PC is, and I just want to take a moment to address that, because we're going to talk about the Avengers a little bit more in a bit. But apparently it's causing the Steam library to trash several games, including League of Maidens, unplayable. So there's something that's going on with the PC release that's causing issues for people's systems. I don't know if it's a widespread thing. I just heard Hikari mention it to me before, and also during this podcast. So I don't know if anyone else in chat has the game on PC and has tried it and have been playing it.
What game is this? I'm sorry.
Marvel's Avengers, the beta.
Oh.
It's been causing issues on PC for her as well as some other people. So if anyone else is also experiencing those, please let us know in the chat, and we'll look into it as much as we can. I guess. I don't know. I don't have any like channels to like tell people to do their shit, to do their job, but the discussion board is lots of
I have a question though. Do we know if Marvel has de novo on it?
Yes.
I know de novo.
Yes.
That's probably why. De novo causes so many issues to multiple games. Main reason why Doom Eternal, after like I think a few weeks after it released, they added de novo to it and it destroyed the performance.
Wow.
And a lot of people couldn't play it anymore. So
wow,
that's probably one of the reasons. So I don't know why they keep using. I know like for anti-piracy and stuff like that, but
it's not worth the trouble.
That solution doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah, that's really shitty. Yeah, Hikari was just saying you want to play it, but you're gonna have to refund it. if it doesn't work, yo, absolutely. I mean, like that's a part of the situation in any situation. Like if you buy a product and it just doesn't work, get your money back. Absolutely.
Well, well, right now I think it's the best thing that we remember that this is why they put out betas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that it can be resolved and fixed before the game drops. And if I'm correct, this game in particular has 3 betas that is being done.
Yes.
So hopefully between those 3 betas, they can get enough information to have this resolved so those who are on PC that want to enjoy the game don't run into, destroying their own systems, because that's bad for business and that's bad for everybody's PC. So, I would really hate to hear, hey, guess what? I can't use my PC anymore. Oh, why? Because the game blew it up. Like, so, I mean, if right now you're a person who has it on PC and you're not trusting it, I mean, go with your gut until you have any more information about why this is going on or what have they done to resolve it. I know it's a game we all want to enjoy, but if you don't want to sit there and risk something happening to your stuff because of this. But hopefully, like I said, they do something about it. I got it on, I put in a forward code for PS4, which I still have not gotten yet. I need to talk to somebody about why I have not gotten that yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
all I have is the beta right now, but I'm assuming I would get the full game, but I don't know. I mean, if I don't get a code for it, I'm just going to buy it because I'm.
Oh no, I was talking about the pre-order beta code.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I never got mine.
Did you pre-order it or did you put a request in?
I put a pre-order. I actually paid money pre-order.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's what I said. That
what?
just reminded me I need to talk to somebody because I never got my code. So yeah,
Check your spam box in case it might have went there if they email it to you.
spam.
Yeah. But
not many of us have them.
On the topic of Halo Infinite, y'all, this is a situation that Microsoft is dealing with right now, which is I respect the decision to delay Halo Infinite, but
so is that but.
There, I mean, y'all know how I feel about games in general. Like I enjoy games. I want people to enjoy games. I want them to be available and accessible to people. I'm going to be buying or hopefully getting a code for this. Or actually, it's going to be on Game Pass. What am I talking about? I'm going to be playing this on PC. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so this affects me directly as well. But if they feel like the game isn't ready, then taking that time is so important. But it also is going to be a huge blow for the Xbox launch, the Xbox Sex launch. And what are your all thoughts on this?
As a person who's played like every single Halo that came out since the original, I like the fact that they are taking the time to want to make sure the game looks and acts right for what it needs to. But I definitely agree with what you said. They're going to take a huge hit. This is one of the titles that when they announced the game before they showed the console, like you have been pushing this since you said this is going to be on our new console. So you've had time. So the question is, what just transpired, that made you be like, okay, this isn't going to make it to our launch? What just happened? That makes me concerned as a consumer. Is it the fact on the console itself couldn't process the game as much as you thought it was going to be? Or, we get it. It's a lot difficult time than it was before 2 or 3 years ago, processing a game, especially with Rona. But now it's like you had this in the bag. Y'all talked about this. This seemed like how they advertised it. It was like, oh, this is ready. You don't even have to worry about that. This is ready. This is as soon as the system comes out, boom.
Yeah.
Halo. Yeah. And now you're like, see what happened was.
I think this was supposed to be the one for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, they have so many factors that's going on right now. Like they have the new console dropping, and then Project xCloud, and then right now they're testing out their beta for xCloud.
Yeah.
So, and I think that also has a factor to do with that, because if this game doesn't work with xCloud, you're gonna have big issues.
Yeah.
Because people want to play this on the go, and you're talking about, yeah, you can play everywhere. But when this game comes out, let's say it came out on launch, and it's like, yeah, so xCloud is not going to work with Halo until next year.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, so
It's
I
hard.
think like the decision to wait was good, but it's definitely going to hurt them for launch. It's definitely going to hurt for launch.
They're gonna have to put something in this slot if this is not gonna come out for launch. And I'm gonna be honest with you.
Have something?
And that's what I was just about to say. If we watched all of everything, I don't think they have it in their kit to have anything to push for the spot of this. That's what I'm saying. I think their marketing team jumped too quickly.
It's possible.
They jumped too quickly putting Halo out there. I'm not saying Halo shouldn't have been a launch or shouldn't have been talked about, but y'all made it like
The thing.
Master Chief is the head runner of this system. You as a Halo fan, as a person who's been playing Halo since the original, I seen that preview and it was like, I heard, you know what I'm saying, like heard the voice.
I
Yeah.
want to be devil's advocate though, but they needed that, right? Like they needed Halo to be the launch title. They needed to be first to market to announce their platform. Like they were so behind this console generation, they needed to come out with the biggest guns they had. And all that.
Right, you got to come with a big gun with no bullets though.
All that BS they were talking about, where you know they're not trying to sell consoles. You know, it'll work on the Xbox One as well as the Series X. I don't believe that. I don't believe any of that.
Wait,
Like,
you don't believe that it's not going to work on both systems?
No, I'm saying I don't believe like they don't care about selling the Series X.
Oh, well. Yeah.
That, you know, like when people want to come to it, they'll come to it. Like you wouldn't have announced Halo as your launch title for this system if you did not want to sell this system. You know what I mean? Like for them to delay this in the fashion that they did, I respect it and I'm gonna be honest with you. I respect how they delayed it more than I did when Cyberpunk did it. Because Cyberpunk, and granted, Cyberpunk looks great or whatever, but Cyberpunk gave us 2 release dates, right? And if you look at a lot of other developers like Ubisoft when they did Watch Dogs Legion and stuff like that, like, or you know, Dying Light, they delayed indefinitely, or they said when it's ready.
Yeah.
Halo is kind of doing the same thing, and I respect that. Like when the game is ready in 2021, they didn't give us like a date, they didn't give us a window, they just said in 2021. Granted, I don't think they should have gave us a year either. I think they should have been like, it's delayed indefinitely, when it's ready, like it's come out.
They did the same thing with The Last of Us.
Yeah. And Last of Us was done. Last of Us was really all about logistics at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was like, yo, like we don't know when this is coming out. Coronavirus. Granted, I ain't gonna lie. Like I felt some type of way with The Last of Us because I was like, people are really buying physicals. Like really?
Yeah.
Like,
Elections, man.
It's still a thing.
I know, but I felt some type of way. I am not gonna lie. Like I was like, yo, if you over here like delaying for the collector's edition, that person is gonna buy the game twice. He'll buy it on digital.
You'll be all right.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
Like he'll be fine. Like let this game rock.
Yeah.
But like for Halo, I feel like this is like a big deal. Like you cannot like I think you should launch the system at this. I mean, push back the system at this point. Like do not launch the system.
Did they give an official date? Because I seen something.
They kept saying holiday.
That's true.
And
Now
I
they say
think
November.
Yeah, I think I saw
Yeah.
November. Yeah, that's what
It's
I saw.
usually a November release for most consoles. So
But this is proof on why, and I get, you know, everybody wants, you know, the systems to come out, but I actually had a conversation with someone earlier today, and I said, they asked me, they was like, you know, Em, have you heard anything about, you know, PlayStation? And I'm like, no, they haven't said anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you, especially with everything that's going on, you're taking new technology, putting it into your system, you're taking, you know, new ways to make games. Sometimes the minimum is actually the maximum, because then once you do it, everybody is going to be like so blown away, and that's what we're saying, like in all agreement on. The pushback, fine. I don't disagree with that at all.
Right.
But how do you recover from this? Because now me as the consumer, well, this is making me look more towards Sony anyway, because Sony is being silent. You know, they're not saying you know, the most I've seen them say is about Control, and even with Control, they were like, well, this is more having to do with the company. This doesn't have anything to do with us. Now this is Xbox Studios. This is Microsoft Studios. This is y'all baby. And y'all are now saying our baby has to get pushed back. This isn't on anybody else. Right. This is y'all baby. This is like, I was expecting like a whole Halo custom edition console.
True.
The flagship title. Like you can like if you announce a flagship with your next gen console and say, hey, this is going hand in hand, right? Like imagine if they said, like imagine if Sony said they had to push back Killzone, you know, when the PS4 launched. Like, a lot of people weren't gonna cop a PS4, you know, because at the end of the day, that at that point, that was their flagship. Like, hey, this is next gen. You're not gonna get this on the PS3. This is what we're putting out, and people would have been like, yo, you don't even have games. Like, all you have is like Resogun, and like that looks something like, yeah, it looks good, but like,
I'm gonna buy a PS4 for it.
Buy a whole PS4 Resogun.
Right.
Like, get out of here.
Yeah,
but
like I feel like the Xbox, like Microsoft should have did what they did with the Xbox One. Came up with like what, 3 flagships on launch?
Yeah, they did.
They came out with Rise Son of Rome. They came out with Killer Instinct, and they came out with Dead Rising 4. Flagship games.
Yeah,
huge games.
But did that really help them?
Well,
it helped them sell
price.
Consoles.
It was the price.
It was the price as well.
it was the price and the Connect and the TV,
Yeah,
but they got
media and all that stuff. But
like,
it still did help them sell consoles, though.
Yeah, I think if they both were at 400 and the Xbox didn't have a Connect, I think it would have been a better battle, because Xbox definitely had a better launch as far as games, in my opinion. And I like PlayStation, but in my opinion, like I would have probably gravitated towards Xbox, seeing especially Killer Instinct. But like at $500, I was like,
nah,
But I'll say this as a person,
and it was less powerful.
As a person who went from 360 to PlayStation, it was literally like you said, when the drops and everything came out, I didn't see. I mean, Killer Instinct, yes. And all I kept saying to folks is, do I want to buy this console for one game? And right now, let's be honest, now that same question is asked. Do I want to buy this console for that one game? And their lineup is now hurt if Halo is pushed back, because that was that one game.
Yeah.
So
don't put all your eggs in one basket.
I'm seeing. Well, so all right. So I think on the one hand, launch, this is going to hurt them, but overall, I think if they're competitively priced with the PlayStation, they will recover and they'll be okay, because they're not going into this generation saying, you know, here's this device that's going to be attached to your system that you do not want. And they're not pushing this as a media device. They're saying, we understand our core audience are the gamers. If you are a media consumer with movies and music, like obviously you can do that, but that is not where we're focusing. We want to pay attention to the gamers. So like, I think they're already on a great start with that. So I think this is going to be a much closer race in terms of that for those reasons. But all at this point, all Sony has to do is not f*** up. That's all they have to do. Just don't ruin what they already have going on. Like you said, Infamous, they've been quiet about all of this. So they just have to, all they have to do is just be like, you know what, here's what it is. Here's what's happening. I'm looking at the launch lineup right now for both systems. And with Halo being delayed, the Xbox Series X, according to this article I'm looking at on Kotaku, the only launch titles that are, I believe, exclusive to the Series X. Oh, wait, no, here's just all it says. Here's what's coming when the Xbox Series X arrives in November. Scorn, the Medium, which actually does look very good. But we didn't see gameplay. We just saw like what the proposed gameplay was. Tetris Effect connected and Gears Tactics, which is like Gears Tactics is already a thing on PC and Xbox One.
So
Tetris Effect is literally Tetris.
Right.
Does Xbox still need to put out a console?
No, not they
At
don't
this point,
need
no.
to, but they want to get it out as soon as they can. So I think
They only want to do it because some people, and I have this conversation with folks when it comes to the whole thing about even streaming. Some folks don't want to deal with the PC stuff. So they still are doing it for the folks on, hey, I don't want that. I don't want to deal with the extra that, or the fact on parents who don't want to buy. I'm sorry, I have a 10 about to be 11-year-old. I just gave her my laptop, and I'm still nervous about that. But you want this Xbox One so you can play Minecraft? Cool. Like the mentality of what you have to deal with still goes into play.
1,000%.
Everyone is not ready to deal with it. Right. Exactly. So yes, for them to make sales, they have to. They have to, because they'll actually lose because of the people that are like, yeah, I'm not about to deal with no PC. I don't want to do all that,
And because the PlayStation is launching their system this year, if they do not launch their system this year, they are going to lose customers, like straight up. No matter which way you look.
You think they can't even delay this? They have to just launch it.
I don't think so, because they already gave Sony a head start from the whole last console generation. Like, say what you want, if you have a preference for one or the other. Like Sony, the PlayStation handed them their own ass on a platter. Like with regards to the launch strategy, with regards to their clapback about sharing games, with regards that was like,
yeah, man.
And they did it on the riff. They did it off the riff. They understood gamers. They understood what they wanted. They were just like, no one in their right mind wants anything that Xbox has been trying to sell them this whole presentation. We're going to play off of that. So they literally, like, it wasn't even like an evil mastermind plan. It was just like, we understand what the market needs right now. And they played on that. And then it from there on, it was just a matter of threading the needle between all of the games that they had releasing after that. So the PS4 launched with some good games. Not, like you said, not the heavy hitters, but Killzone was probably like the biggest heavy hitter that they had at the time.
It was the biggest one. That and Knack.
Right, which was like a cool, fun game. But like immediately after that, they were just like, all right, here's all this other shit that's about to come right now. Like, bam, bam, bam. Like, obviously, we got The Last of Us remaster. It was like, all right, cool. This will satiate our need for a bunch of other games. And then it was the Little Big Planets that was coming out. It was the Horizon Zero Dawns. It was the God of Wars. It was the Spider-Mans. It was...
The last 3 years really when they got into their footing. I think the first couple, they were definitely third-party support, and because they played on the Destiny
heavy. Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Like that was the next thing. They were also... They got Warframe. I think that's what helped Warframe a lot earlier.
It did.
Because
God,
was
yes.
a launch title.
God, yes.
That's where I learned Warframe.
That was huge.
Yep.
We all.
That's why I ain't came over to PC yet, because all my frames is on there. And hello, Warframe, can we get crossplay so I don't have to grind?
One day.
And then Neo. I'm like thinking about all the PS4 exclusive games. Like Neo came out. It's like Persona 5. Like, hello.
So yeah. PlayStation really.
Nier Automata. Goddamn.
What's up, JC Mac? PlayStation really like did its thing this console generation. I don't know if Xbox could really come back. I don't know if Xbox is really just going to become a software-oriented company.
Starting to look like it.
Really, I get people just want the plug and play, but listen, right now they're not doing it for me. Especially with them saying like Series X, you could play all these games on the Xbox One X. And that's also confusing for me too, because it's like you have this mid-generation console, but apparently there's rumors that they're also coming out with the Xbox Series S. So like how far
they're making an Xbox Series XS, like a smaller version of it, which I don't know.
Oh, okay.
What they might just be removing the disk drive, maybe.
The disc.
Yeah, like PlayStation's doing.
Yeah.
They're gonna have two versions, one without the disc, and one with the disc. Yes.
Drives are
Yeah.
expensive.
But I'm gonna say this. I'm because my heart hurts. My heart hurts.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I think in a sense, audio is partially right. I literally can say this. This is about to be the last of the race. If they can't catch up, then that's probably why they're preparing certain things, like how their cloud system is about to run, how Ultimate can connect to PC. I believe this is their last attempt, because if they do fail, there's no longer, you're going to have, your fans of Xbox. Like I said, that was where my heart was before the 4. I love my 360. It's in my closet. My DJ Hero, all of that is in there. But they dropped the ball in this gen, and they've learned that they dropped the ball in this gen, and they look, just like you said, they look like they're trying to recover it. They see this is where we messed up. How can we fix it? Can they fix it is really where the question is. And if they can't, then guess what? A lot of y'all who may not want to buy consoles, buy PCs, you want to stay an Xbox fan, you may have to look into buying some form of PC or tablet, because if they drop this ball, that's going to be back-to-back seasons. And we see what happens, unfortunately, Sega.
That's what I was
going. Back. Man,
that's where I
miss you, Dreamcast. I miss you.
Recipes Dreamcast.
Going out for the homies.
Just one out.
We know what happens when you struggle in a company like that. You know what I'm saying? And considering the fact that Microsoft is a larger company, they're not a bare base, hey, we only make console company. They can afford to say, you know what, this area is costing us money, but this part of the area is making us money. So let's cut this back, improve this, push this there, point that there, and remake our money back, because they're losing money. I will say they regained it with a lot of their titles later on, and with Game Pass. Game Pass has been their savior these past few years. When they dropped that and said, hey, you pay this and you get these games, that game, this game, 360 games, and you can play on your PC, that was their saving grace. That's how we knew they were now thinking of who their consumer really was. So can they fix it? They started making the steps. But if they keep sitting there dropping titles before these developers are ready, if they keep on dropping things to people, it's gonna make nervous consumers. Even the core fans are nervous about what the system is gonna do.
I totally agree with you, and I feel like a really big thing to also consider is like, I believe wholeheartedly that Microsoft is like in all of gaming for the long haul, like of course, but they've had these really big moments and opportunities to really push back that have failed over and over and over again. And I think that's where they're at this point now, where like the Game Pass, I think it brought customers towards that, but I don't think they're making a lot of money off of it, to be completely honest, because games would usually launch at $60, but you can pay a little bit over $60 a year to access all of that. And maybe those people would have only bought that one game throughout the year, but maybe they would have bought 2 or 3 or 4. Now those people are only going to pay that $15, or actually now, like if you're on PC, it's $5 a month for specifically those games. And so I, as a consumer, I love Game Pass, but I have no idea, like, over the long run, if that's making them more money or if it's losing them more money versus who would have bought those games otherwise. So
I will say this. I thought about that as well. I think Microsoft is definitely going to be making the money. What I am concerned about are for the developers. How does that work? That's really going to be the question. Like, I think that's really that kind of question, because you're right. Like, these games were $60. now as a consumer, we're like, hey, we're reaping all these benefits, but then we don't think about on the back end, how does that help or hurt the developer? Because at the end of the day, Microsoft is going to make their money just off the subscription base alone. Like, that's the reality of it, you know, because if you look at Microsoft in and of itself, really, Microsoft has been losing money as a company these past couple of years, because you're looking at their competitor and is getting into the gaming space now has been Google, right? Like, their bread and butter has been Microsoft Windows, which, I mean, obviously, you know, you make money on that, but other than that, it's really been Microsoft Office, right? Like, that's their bread and butter.
Their cloud service.
And that on the enterprise side, right? So Microsoft Office, they had to switch their whole thing from you buy the game buy that software every so often to now being subscription, right? Because Microsoft has never been a hardware company. Like, their first true hardware where you make your actual money has been the Xbox. And I think that's where they really were trying to keep and maintain that, because you make that money on hardware ultimately when you're a big tech company like that. But they're probably going to have to let it go.
And that's why
have to let it go.
That's why I said what I said.
So it's so interesting. So I remember the big comeback for Microsoft, right? It was, I know I'm going to hurt some feelings right now by saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Oh no.
Scalebound. Scalebound was supposed to be their fight back. That was they were on the ropes. They're just like,
my God. That was for the fans.
And then it's like,
that was legit for the fan.
That was for
that game.
Us.
That game was supposed to combat Devil May Cry.
Nothing will ever combat Devil May Cry.
No. Based off that, what I was seeing from Scalebound, it could have been in the league of Devil May Cry.
I'll say Bayonetta is in the league of Devil May Cry.
The creator of Devil May Cry made Bayonetta. That is the only reason why.
But they're also the people making Scalebound. It's Platinum Games. It's the same studio.
Platinum Games. So
not the studio. The actual person left and went over there and
that's what I mean.
It, right?
That's what I mean. Because Platinum Games does Scalebound and Bayonetta. He was the one responsible for making Bayonetta.
He was responsible for
and he was going to be making Scalebound. But so, I have some inside info of why that went awry. Basically, they were basically playing with their money. They're just like, yo, you told us, you promised us this game for this long, and then we don't have any meaningful updates. Meanwhile, Nier Automata came out, Transformers came out, Legend of Korra came out. What else did they do? They did Ninja Turtles. They had all these games come out, but they didn't have any updates for Scalebound.
Oh my God.
And so my understanding, I'm not saying that I'm the be all end all of all that, but from what I've seen and heard, they got very frustrated with that because obviously Microsoft needed this. And they're just like, we're giving you all this money to make all these other games. Make the damn game.
They pulled the 38.
Oh man,
Kingdom of Amalur.
Yeah, I heard pulling that.
Yeah. So between Scalebound, between Recore, between Crackdown, all of those games just completely failing. And there were more games. I can go on and on about that. State of Decay 2, how that launched. Like all of these games that were supposed to bring Xbox back all completely fell on their faces.
They had a good launch though.
It had a decent launch. And it had Titanfall 1 exclusively.
They had Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive. Great game.
It was so good.
Great
Sunset
game.
Overdrive is a gem. I love that game.
I still want to play that. Like I really considering this.
It was a great game. I got the Sunset Overdrive Xbox One. Like I was like, all right, this is going to be the reason why I buy the system. And then like after that, I was like, I don't want to play this shit anymore.
I'm kind of hoping Insomniac does something. Please.
I want them to do another sequel of Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
That was.
I want to bring it over to PlayStation. They're bought.
They probably will, honestly, as long as they have the IP rights.
I hope.
Yeah. I think that's what plays a lot with everything, because like, if you don't have the rights to this game, even if you want to go to
It's on
another,
Steam,
company and be like, hey, we know you do good. Are you willing to pay this money? And Sony may look and be like,
Homie was talking a lot of crap. What's his name? The president, Todd
Howard.
Yo.
Wait, no, you talking about for Insomnia?
For Insomniac. Yeah.
I forget. Ted. I think it's Ted.
Ted, right? Yeah. When they did that little reveal, they were like, yeah, we've been at PlayStation for so long. We wanted to do something with Microsoft, but he was sending some jabs. I remember that. I remember that. I was upset.
They're probably holding on to Sunset Overdrive. Like,
I was upset. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's how you feel? I was like, all right, that's cool.
Oh my god.
But it's cool.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to remember the other games that were supposed to like bring Xbox back, because you remember Recore, that was made by Keiji Inafune, the maker of Mega Man. Like, that was supposed to be a huge deal. It didn't grab me.
It didn't grab me.
It didn't grab anyone. That's the problem. Like, it was a bad game.
You got the name, and then you just show the game, and I'm just like, no.
I think that's another thing that hurts them too. Like, now it comes to the question of
Bleeding Edge.
Oh, that's the game you think about?
That's another game, yeah. Like, that came out recently.
Yeah.
It came and it just immediately died.
I completely forgot about that.
But is that now that leads the question of, was it Microsoft that dropped the ball, not giving the funding for the games or the proper promotion for the games, or was it actually the developers dropping the ball, not taking the money and putting it in the right places for the game? That's a whole different ball game now. Mm-hmm. That could be why they decided to, because when they did their thing, I forgot what it's technically called, but when they say, hey, this is Xbox and this is everything that's going to be on Xbox, one of the things they literally said is, we went to independent, we went to indie studios. Mm-hmm. They look like they're trying to turn another route because they got a bad taste in their mouth dealing with some of these other companies. Yeah, so maybe, like I said, maybe it is a change for the better. We just don't know the better. And honestly, let's keep it a stack. A lot of us have seen a lot of people being playing these indie games or these very, not Fall known Guys. Games.
Yeah.
And they become the biggest rage. So maybe, like I said, it's a strategic to it. We may not see it, but maybe it's one of these games, especially since a lot of them didn't show gameplay.
Yeah.
It may hit us and be like, yeah.
Yeah, and
listen. Yeah. Look at Rocket League. When Rocket League
hit, when it was on PS4, it wasn't on Xbox, was it? It was only on PS4.
It was only on PS4. Yeah,
PS4,
PC,
and PS4.
That's how it launched.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it was going free to play. Everyone was like, "Yeah, like
they made enough money now. It's like, hey, now y'all can just have fun."
Yeah,
and now it's a whole esports.
It literally,
you guys are playing.
Mobile Gaming got their whole new squad for it.
Is PlayStation Plus title.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yep.
I was happy about Fall Guys being on PlayStation. I was like, what?
Like for free?
Yeah.
I told everybody, go get it.
Yeah.
That's what I found wild too, is that they launched free.
Yes.
Like right away. I was just like, y'all coming out
the
straight
gate.
up
swinging
gate free.
And how they work that hand with PlayStation, because PlayStation already knows what they're going to use. That means they worked their hand and knew this game was going to blow up. So whoever is behind their accounts and their media, y'all are amazing, because I don't know how y'all knew that this was going to be this way. But my goodness.
PlayStation knows. PlayStation, they pick certain ahead of time for their Plus type.
They do.
No, the Fall Guys company.
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
No, I don't think they were.
I don't think they were ready.
They were
no. I mean, whoever, like, as far as the
because of PlayStation Plus, because they have to make deals to make that available on PlayStation Plus.
Stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
We know about the software stuff. We're not gonna talk bad. We're not gonna talk bad on Fall Guys. We like Fall Guys, but I'm just saying, whoever their marketing team was and their advertising people, they did good because
Rocket League people.
Sony's been scouting. That's the thing. Like they know.
Yeah. Sony knows. Sony's like, oh, you wanna, like, we'll put you on Plus. Don't worry, you'll be on Plus for a month.
I feel like
you'll be good after that.
I feel like a lot of the executives, like Phil, Phil on the Xbox side, he's very much a gamer, and it's very apparent in the way that he talks about it and like the acquisitions and the studios that he's been trying to pick up for the company. Very, very intentional and very obvious that he knows what he's doing, and he's talking about it. I don't know if that same level of cohesiveness and understanding of the industry is at the helm of the other execs, because I think what Sony has done is they've kind of let PlayStation be its own brand, and the people spearheading that and leading the decisions about studio acquisition and about like investments, about like marketing and whatever's happening there, they have their heads, they have their feet on the ground more so, because they're constantly staying on top of a lot of this stuff. And I'm sure that it's the same for Microsoft as well. It's just maybe it is, maybe it isn't. They just haven't found that same type of groove, even though Game Pass is going amazingly for them right now.
I think you're right, but I think what maybe the thing is, the people who give the full ultimate 100% go, they may not be the gamers. They're let's keep look, I'm gonna be honest, they're probably the people that are saying, oh, it's dollar signs, do it.
Yeah.
Oh, now if you go, if the most executive businessman, you say dollar signs, they gonna run with it. I think where a lot of problem runs with whatever's going on in the head house of Microsoft is when you have to throw money to make money, or you go big or go home. A lot of their executives don't have the go big or go home because they're afraid, because when they have sat there and said, all right, we'll let you slide that with that smaller thing, and they take a hit, they be like, okay, we lost money. Now we need to find all this stuff to gain money. And that doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to take that jump and be like, okay, and whatever it is, whoever was working for them in 360 time, they need to go get their son or they grandson, because this generation, whoever was doing it, not fire them. I don't want anybody fired for real, but put them on executive leave, put them in retirement, and go get their kid, like 1, 2, skip a few, 99, 100, because whoever's running now messed up. Like, don't do that. They need to go goodbye, and go find out who did stuff right for 360 and network them with the people who did the stuff for Game Pass and fix this, because somebody done went wrong. Like, we ended up in Albuquerque. Right. I didn't want to go to Albuquerque, and y'all need to fix it. Like, it's not gonna work that way. It's just no, don't. What
I will say about that is, I saw this interview, and it's a recent interview, but it talks about like the becomings of Xbox. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was one of the execs talking about their pitch to Bill Gates on Xbox and how they spent the whole day trying to pitch Xbox, this console, to Bill Gates, and Bill Gates was like not having it. Like, he was not having it, like the whole day, right? And then and then they were like, all right, like, it was becoming late. And they were talking about, they were pitching it on Valentine's Day. And like, it was getting late. They were like missing Valentine's Day dinners. They're like, F it, like, we're not even gonna do this. Yeah. And then one guy says, yo, what about Sony? Like, they're going into the living room space. And then apparently Bill Gates goes, yeah, what about Sony? And then everything just changes. And then he's like, you know what? Whatever you guys ask, go for it. And like, that's how Xbox happened.
So y'all got an Xbox on my birthday. You're welcome.
Like, legit. Like, they were like Bill Gates was not happy. Like, he's like, what the hell you mean we're like, what?
And now you talk about the execs and everything. That kind of seems like they put their hand in the Xbox One, because remember, they pushed that as a one media spot for everything.
They got
TV,
greedy. They got greedy.
Music, everything.
I think they did that only because of the success of the PS3. Like, the PS3 wasn't doing that well until Netflix. Like, it was doing okay in gaming, but like, obviously 360 was dominating. And then I don't know if you guys remember, but like, they started like giving out, like, when Netflix first started, I remember like having a subscription to Netflix for free because like it came on PS3.
Right. And they're like, oh, we can just do our own thing too by doing our own Xbox TV stuff. Yep. And just have it bundled with our console. Right. And charge it $500. No.
Yeah, that killed them.
Yeah.
So
and I think we could literally go on all day about the future of the console generations and the past mistakes of both of them. I think there's so many things that we have to talk about that are so like fun and important to talk about, but I think the next
run through them real quick.
Okay.
Round?
All right, let's do a lightning round because I know we many of you all have other things you have to do throughout the day. Many of the viewers here who also have things that they want to continue seeing more of as well. Let's talk a little bit about Avengers.
Great game.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, y'all know what to talk about. Y'all got this.
Yeah.
Great game. Unfortunately, I won't be getting this one out only because I really need to like get into my backlogs, and because of what type of game this is, I wouldn't be playing anything else. It really is a really good game. I haven't seen any real game breaking things. I mean, there are some minor like bugs and stuff like that we've seen playing, but nothing that's like game breaking so far. At least in the first couple of missions. I don't know about, but nothing on my end.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything game breaking yet on my end. I mean, small FPS issues, but nothing to deter me away from the game yet. It's just what I've been seeing lately. Like, and Oni has mentioned this to me. It's been a lot of people have been trashing Avengers from the beta alone, and they're saying that the gameplay is just repetitive. It's not it's like the hero's moves are not that good. We played that game for like a solid 6 to 8 hours. Yeah. And I had so much fun, especially like unlocking new moves for my character. And like Oni said, like there's supposed to be like more like skills coming out with like when the game actually launches and whatnot. Me just unlocking like the little bit of amount that I've been playing with Iron Man from just doing my regular flying around and knocking people up. And then I unlock more skills from just doing my repulsor to doing a laser to doing rockets to doing a slam down on the ground. I don't get why people are just trying to trash the game. I understand, people have their opinions and whatnot, but you can't really say a game is trash when there's a lot of things to do. If you haven't done at least maybe 4 hours, that's usually how I judge a game, 4 to 5 hours of gameplay. If I'm not hooked within that, then I don't think the game is for me. But I got hooked in the first 10 minutes. So
I mean, here's the biggest question about that is like, and like I said, y'all heard me say earlier, I couldn't physically touch the game, but I am going to be playing the beta, and I've watched enough of y'all, play it, and also read up a lot on the articles, and it seems like it was an expectation people mentally want for this game. And it's like, how about you touch the game for yourself? Because let's be honest, not everyone who is speaking on the game had access to the beta. They're speaking on what they're seeing. And, of course, I'm going to wait till Oni come back because we know what the biggest issue is on why everybody is saying a lot of the stuff that they're saying. But from what I've seen, it looks like, one, they're trying to keep everything in game. You can earn stuff, costumes, skills, abilities within games. I like games like that. What do you mean? What? I can level up in my game and I don't have to, also, a lot of the stuff for the game is going to be free. I don't know about anybody else, but I like free. I think, unfortunately, when it comes to comic book games, they get a little bit more scrutiny because they're put in this they're put on this pedestal. They're never given a chance until everybody touches it and be like, oh man, it's not that bad. Spider-Man went through that. We're tired of seeing Spider-Man. It's the same old Spider-Man. We know the story. How are you going to make it better? When people touched that controller and got the web slinging, all of that went out. And then it was like, well, what else am I going to do with this? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, here's some DLC. Here's some more DLC. Here's some more DLC. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get we want it to be as close to certain things that we've read in the comics, but you also have to give these people the chance to develop the stuff for you. And if it is enough stuff, you know, if it is okay, maybe not enough people like the costumes. Costumes ain't nothing but an update. You can patch that through and give it to people. You know what I'm saying? If it's an ability, you know, what complaint I want to hear is non-cosmetic. Complain to me and tell me that the game moves cruddy. Tell me that.
Right.
Tell me that the game is dropping frames. Tell me that the game isn't connecting, you know, to multiplayer. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear, you know, and now Oni's back, so now I can really say what I was going to say. I don't want to hear your complaints because y'all didn't get Spider-Man. Let it go.
That too.
That's really what I'm tired of. I said I was waiting until you got back to say it. Everything I've heard revolves around that. And cosmetics. Nothing has actually been, and I only have a complaint and my complaint ain't even at them. It's at the people who I pre-ordered it to that didn't give me my code. It ain't even about the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, complain about the gameplay and the quality of the game, not the cosmetic things you want as a consumer. Because now you don't have to pay the $60. You don't have to pay anything if you don't want to play the game. But I'm not going to sit there and look at you tweet and complain that you don't like this game just because you didn't get what you wanted.
Right. And then people are going to start complaining about this because, one, I think Marvel is trying to do what they're doing with the movie universe. They're trying to make a video game universe for Marvel.
100%.
Thus, Spider-Man being an exclusive on PS4. And Miles Morales is being a big title coming out with the PS5. Launch. They're trying to make a Marvel game universe. Like, let's say like Miles Morales comes out and let's say Captain America from the Avengers game shows up in Miles Morales for a DLC maybe.
That'd be dope.
Like, that's what
Siri from
happening.
Black Panther appears, you know, like I would, man. Can we get a Black Panther game? Let's talk about that. No, I'm not.
Hey, man, listen, never say never. That's all I'm going to say.
Never say never.
But let's be honest, and Kesa is actually right. That's where all the movies started. Pay attention. If you didn't understand, it started with individual movies. Then the individual movies came out, and then we started to get the Avenger movies, and then more movies came out. So I like that idea, Kesa. I hope that is it. I want that to be it. I support that even more. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's what it seems like it's starting to roll up to.
Yep.
Like, you're putting all these games together, you're making these exclusives and whatnot, and you're putting a lot of money into it. Come on. If you don't make a Marvel universe game universe, that's money you're losing out on. So
here's been an interesting thing. I pointed this out in the stream before, but I'll point that again. You know, everyone upset about Spider-Man not being available on other platforms. You know, paying the same amount for an inferior product. And I hate to be this guy to say it, but I'll say it anyway. Again, I love games. I love consoles. Whatever your preference is, like, enjoy what you enjoy. But if you bought an Xbox console on launch or within the first 3 years, you already paid more for a technically and arguably objectively inferior product. You already did. You already bought the worst version of the console you could have gotten. And this is just from a logistical, factual, objective, and even just like a subjective point of view. The Xbox launched with some okay games, less power than the PlayStation 4, with an additional component to the system that took up resources to use for the Kinect, and it was unable to be used without a Kinect at the point.
That was crazy.
And for an online service where you had to pay online to access Netflix, to access Hulu, to access all of these things, it launched with inferior versions of the same multi-platform games, as well as the exclusive content that both Destiny and Call of Duty started getting. You already had the worst version of all of the games available to you. So this argument that you're making about being mad about having an inferior version of the game is just you looking for something to be mad at.
Yeah.
And it's okay to just want to be mad about something, but you got to be real with yourself. You got to admit that. Like you may have had good faith that Microsoft would put out something really compelling that you wanted to play afterwards. Halo 5 wasn't it. I enjoyed Halo 5, but it wasn't the reason to buy an Xbox. I'll tell you that right now. It was not. So I don't know. This and then like, oh my God, like I'm gonna show y'all something really stupid. Really stupid.
Do I even?
You know, well, we did talk about this, but this is another argument that I'm making in relation to this whole situation. Here, I'm gonna put it over here. I'm gonna show it on this screen here. Example, bam. I'm gonna show y'all an image that this is another reason people like. I've seen thumbnails from YouTubers that I actually really like. I've seen thumbnails of them using this as the example of cash grab, money, what was it? Money grabbing, selfish, and blah blah blah. What the hell is this? This is not what I clicked on.
It's Chop News.
Chop News.
Chop News.
All right. So this skin that these skins that you see here.
There it is.
This right here.
Okay.
All of this. I'm gonna even bring up a bigger version of this. This image is something that people are losing their minds about. Oh my God, I can't believe Horizon has an exclusive skins for the Avengers game. This is such a cash grab. It's unfair. These skins don't look good. Like, I don't.
Iron Man kind of looks sick though. I don't know.
Iron Man is the only one, but you know what? That's the thing.
He has much better skins.
He has skins that look similar to that. That's better.
Yeah.
But,
much better skins are already available in the game for free from the beta.
So, well, hold on.
I don't understand what you call it a cash grab though. What's the cash grab?
Because you gotta buy. You have to play. I think you have to buy a Verizon phone or have a Verizon service in order to activate these skins.
I got the answer for that. You ready for this answer? You ready? It's okay. Chat, get your pen, get your paper. This is where your answer is. The reason why they're calling it a cash grab is because the company they wanted to pay for them to have extra content did not pay. Sony paid for Spider-Man. Let's keep it a stack. And I've had this argument. Yeah, they bought Final Fantasy to have it a year before Xbox and PC. The same with Horizon Zero Dawn and several other games. Nobody is saying that y'all will not get this. Nobody is saying that you have to want this. But the aspect of it is you cannot get mad at these companies who decided to put their money into this the way that they did. You have option A, don't play the game, don't spend your money, or option B, you can see what may come out for your own, because guess what? I don't have Verizon. I have T-Mobile. I don't want a pink T-Mobile skin on Iron Man or Hulk. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I'm not missing. Like, honestly, I didn't even know this was the Verizon skin. I thought it was Dr. Pepper, and I don't drink that either. Like, this is not making me or breaking me. This has nothing to do with the actual gameplay. It's cosmetic. I mean, we play Fall Guys and there was a color in the store that I didn't like. Does that mean I don't like the game? Like, y'all need to stop. It's
like, seriously.
Look, don't tell me how to play my $60 game. Thank you. That is all.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand why people are getting so mad when it comes to they can't get one thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
One little thing. It's just a skin. It's not going to hinder you from playing all of the Avengers to their maximum potential. It's not gonna take away a certain feature. What's the issue? It's just
ugly.
a skin that you probably are not even going to use.
I'm never going to use these. I have Horizon. I've never.
The skins are in the game. Like, there are better skins in the game that from you just playing it.
Yeah.
This is just getting a Verizon phone. It's just being, hey, here's a small perk for being a Verizon customer. Thanks.
It is a small perk.
What's your issue?
It is
why are y'all and like Casey just said, why aren't you mad at Taco Bell for giving free tacos to T-Mobile customers? Why are you not? Nobody, AT&T had iPhone on lock.
Yep.
For years, you couldn't get an iPhone, whatever, for at least
you
6
couldn't get
months
that for
from
nothing.
another contract. Why was this stuff not complained about? But this one game, Fortnite, don't even go yell at Fortnite. How come? Why this game? Why this game? And the thing of it is once again, you I can't.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on.
I can't. Look, you never know what's going to come out from your own stuff. This was pushed first. These companies, these corporations had the money to do this. This is not the first time this has been done. This is not the first time we've dealt with these type of things. This stuff has gone on for years. I'm sorry, maybe because some of us may be a little bit older or gaming a little bit longer. Unfortunately, you were not around to see that. If you have been around to see that, then now you're just, in the words of a lot of people, you really just want to complain and don't have anything to be happy about. No,
nothing new.
not at all.
Yeah, and speaking of not brand new, but actually is brand new, but the counter to the Avengers game, and some people are like, well, I guess I'll just skip the Avengers game and go straight to this. Rocksteady just announced there's a Suicide Squad game coming, and we literally know nothing about it aside from
they were rude for that.
They
were hella rude for that.
I seen that. And
all we
I was happy.
All we've seen is the image of Superman looking away.
So rude for that.
That's all we've seen so far. And I think this coming Saturday, we're supposed to see 20 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be kind of cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna like talk on this quick and why I thought they were rude for this, because they announced it on the PS4 launch beta, like the day of launch beta, and I feel like that was a jab.
Yes,
but I wonder if, because Microsoft and Warner Brothers have a relationship, if Suicide Squad will have some exclusives to Xbox.
Probably.
Probably.
And if PlayStation's doing it, this is a perfect opportunity to do it for Xbox.
I wouldn't be mad. You know why? Because I own an Xbox too. But it would be business. It would be good business if they did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I can't see PlayStation having both. Like, that wouldn't make any sense. And then I
don't know. PlayStation has a good relationship with WB as well, though.
They do, and Rocksteady.
Yeah, they do.
But who got the money? Once again, we go back to that original topic.
Exactly.
It pay to play, and if Sony got the money to pay to play,
who's gonna throw their wallets on the table? Who's doing it?
I feel like the biggest reason, aside from the licensing rights, that Sony has exclusive to Avengers. Right. Sorry to go back to Avengers. I honestly think the biggest reason is because it was either A, pay the licensing fee to bring Spider-Man on for all systems, or B, don't pay the licensing fee and just make them exclusive. I would not be surprised if it was just that. It's cheaper for them because they spent so much money to get the Marvel license. Are you kidding me? That's so much. You think Disney's gonna be like, oh, you can just have it for like $100?
Oh no!
Hell no.
Yeah.
But with DC, and I have no idea if they will do something like that for this game as well, because they didn't really do anything for the Batman games for exclusive content. If I remember correctly.
No.
And the Batman games did better on PlayStation than they did Xbox.
They had PlayStation exclusive.
They had PlayStation exclusive stuff. Yes,
they did.
And that's what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had.
But yeah, didn't DLC like come out first for PS4, and then
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know they had exclusive skins for sure.
Yes.
That's what. Okay.
That might be it right there. They might have something else up their sleeve. So if you mad now,
I mean, as a whole Batman Suicide Squad fan, I'm with it. Let's go.
Right.
I'm with it. Like I've been waiting, and just make sure Tara is still Harley. That's all I'm gonna say.
They're strong.
That one I want for sure.
So yeah, I'm excited to learn more about the Suicide Squad game. I don't know if it's going to be multiplayer like this game is going to be, or if it's going to be, a single player experience. I don't know what the public wants out of that. Because I remember wasn't one of the Batman games also online multiplayer, but it was like super laggy.
Wasn't more.
I think it was Arkham City that allowed you to like do challenge rooms with another person.
Yeah, it was in that sense because you had Batman and Catwoman. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Arkham Knight, I think, did the same thing.
Oh, did it?
I think so.
Wow.
Like in the challenges only.
Yeah.
Because you had way more. Actually, yeah, I think so. Because you had way more challenges. You had way more
regular
partners in
challenges.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Like you got to do Nightwing, Robin, and Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
Arkham Origins.
it was
Origins had.
Origins.
Okay.
So Arkham Knight didn't have it. Arkham
No?
Origins, I think, did. So maybe I was wrong about it being.
But did Rocksteady make Origins?
No.
No.
I didn't think so.
It was
Yeah.
it was Montreal.
Okay.
It was Montreal. Yeah.
Arkham City. I'm looking up City to see if that had it.
Yeah, I know one of them had it. Whoever, because I can't remember the order of how they go. I'm sorry, I'm old. But I know one of them had a Catwoman DLC, and you could like multiplayer it, if I remember correctly.
That might have been Origins.
I think that might have been Origins, but I know
I think it
that
was Origins only.
Huh.
City has Catwoman. Yeah.
City has Catwoman, but it didn't have multiplayer. So I was wrong. It wasn't City. It was Origins that had multiplayer.
Okay.
I got Origins. I need to play that.
I still haven't finished it.
Back to the backlogs.
Yep.
I need to play that.
And in JC Mac, look at that amazing point that you just made. Disney Plus, you have to pay for Disney Plus, and then Mulan is launching for $30 to stream it.
Yeah.
Disney wants your money. Disney wants everyone's money. So you think they gave Square Enix that license for cheap? No.
Listen, baby. No.
No.
Why do you think it took so long for us to get another Kingdom Hearts? Why do you think certain characters only appear in those Kingdom Hearts? No.
Yeah.
Square.
Like, especially considering the fact that because of Auntie Rona, people can't go to Disney World and Disneyland. So yeah, they hustle. They hustle now. No, I'm talking about that whole time that they couldn't.
Oh yeah, that was a long time.
Oh yeah, they coming for your pockets. That's why they gave it to you free for a year when you was a T-Mobile customer. Pay attention. Oh, then nobody get mad about that. See, that goes back to the Avengers. Never mind. I'm be quiet.
I have had an amazing time on this podcast, and I know Audio Lover has to head out. Thank you all so much watching for being here. Thank you, Audio Lover, Infamous X1S, and Pro Kesadia for being on this podcast. Before you go, where can people go find you?
Audio Lover, go.
Yeah, Audio Lover. Audio Lover.
Audio Lover, you go.
Okay. Thank you to all my living organisms in here. Thank you to my they actually are in here. All my friends, all my living organisms vibrantly expressing reality. You could just check me out. Like I said, theaudiolover.com. Go straight to my YouTube, as well as the Audio Lover on all other platforms. That's Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter.
Dope. Kesa, go.
Yo. Pro Kesadia, thanks to everyone from the Skillet who came over, checking out the Black Oni Podcast. Thanks so much for having me, Oni. Once again, you guys can follow me on Pro Kesadia. Don't forget the underscore between the Pro and the Quesadilla on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know why I'm on TikTok, but but yeah, you guys can follow me there. Play a lot of games and have a good time. Knowledgeable about everything, and we just have a good time. I'm through.
Infamous X1X.
Hi, thanks everybody that came over from the Asylum District to hang out with us today. Don't forget, one, to make sure you follow the channel. And if you need to figure out and find out where I'm going to be at, it's literally the same as the name. I am FAMOUSX1X on Twitter, IG, and Twitch.
All right, y'all. And make sure you keep it locked here. Twitch.tv/Black Oni and Black Oni on everything else, including YouTube, finally. Very excited about that. There's more videos coming to the YouTube, as well as this podcast will be up on there, as well as Spotify, iTunes, and all of the usual podcasting places. I'm going to be streaming again a little bit later today. I'm going to take a break to do some cleaning and hang out with my lovely lady. Thank you, everyone, for being in the chat and for hanging out and for providing your energy and the info that you've also provided for the conversation. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next podcast. Yeah.